Welcome back to Scotty's Hobbies. As you guys know, the California Air Resource Board is being sued to follow federal emission standards. And is this the end of CARB? Like, really? Is it gonna happen? Well, let's dig into what the actual lawsuits are. Before we go too far into this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, check out the video library for a ton of automotive helpful DIY videos and emissions deregulations videos. All right. Now, just yesterday, the Department of Justice, Office of Public Affairs did a press release saying Justice Department sues California to end enforcement of unlawful emission standards for trucks. I'm like, for trucks? Why isn't it for everything? But I dug into it, as I always do. You know what? I'm paid by CARB, so they pay me to dig in deep to give you guys the information. I think that's the word on the streets, right? It's crazy. You're like, you do research, you're paid by CARB. But everything that I show you in this video or tell you in this video, there's links in the description below to read what I'm talking about. And if you click on this website, the Office of Public Affairs, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it has the actual links to the lawsuits that are filed in the district court. And you can actually read it. And everything I'm talking about in this video is 100% factual. So just, if you don't want to take my word for it, go read, please. Now, what does this press release say? It pertains to two lawsuits, one filed in Illinois and one filed in California. They're both pretty much the same thing. If you read this actual press release, it says the Justice Department last week filed 2 complaints in federal courts against the California Air Resource Board regarding the state's enforcement of preempted emission standards through its so-called Clean Truck Partnership with heavy-duty truck and engine manufacturers. A parallel filing in the Court of Appeals addressed CARB's rule of light-duty vehicles, which are also preempted. These actions advance President Donald J. Trump's commitment to end the electric vehicle mandate. You get that? Level the regulatory playing field and promote consumer choice in motor vehicles. So what they're saying is, well, it's going to get to it. Pretty much the CRAs that President Donald Trump signed, they are there to put an end to the EV mandate and the omnibus low NOx rule. From what I'm understanding, it's not going to affect everything in California. It's just the stuff that the CRAs pertain to. It says the Clean Air Act preempts state regulations of vehicle emissions unless the Environmental Protection Agency grants California a preemption waiver. Under the Biden administration, the EPA granted preemption waivers for 2 CARB regulations, imposing stringent emission standards for heavy-duty trucks. The goal of CARB's regulation is to implement an EV mandate in California and other states that adopt California standards or rules. Next. In June 2025, President Donald Trump signed into law congressional resolutions under the Congressional Review Act, invalidating EPA's preemption waivers for CARB's heavy-duty regulations. Not all of the regulations, just the heavy-duty ones with those CRAs. Without these waivers, the Clean Air Act prohibits CARB from attempting to enforce those regulations. Yet, in an affront to the rule of law, CARB seeks to circumvent that prohibition by enforcing the preempted emission standards through the Clean Truck Partnership. The Justice Department's Environmental and Natural Resource Division filed the complaint with motions to intervene in pending cases in the Eastern District of California and the Northern District of Illinois. Agreement, contract, partnership, mandate, whatever California wants to call it. This unlawful action attempts to undermine federal law, said Acting Attorney General Adam of ENRD. President Donald Trump and Congress have invalidated the Clean Air Act waivers that were the basis for California's actions. CARB must respect the democratic process and stop enforcing unlawful standards. And it goes on. Now, if you click on the first complaint, this goes to Exhibit A, and if you go down to it, read all of it. And it doesn't mention anything about all emission standards. It's only pertaining to the heavy-duty vehicle emission standards, which were the EV mandates that the CRAs got rid of. If you scroll down to number 7, the court should declare the ACT, Advanced Clean Trucks, the ACF, Advanced Clean Fleets, and the Omnibus Rules, and the Clean Truck Partnership preempted and therefore unlawful. And it should enjoin their implementation and enforcement. So again, these lawsuits are just to reinforce what the CRAs were putting into action, to where California can't have a EV mandate. California can't have omnibus low NOx rules. That these standards that were going to be implemented in 2026 and beyond are invalid. The Congress and DOJ are getting reports that California is still enforcing the rules that President Trump and Congress passed laws on, saying that they could not anymore. And if you remember, not too long ago, Governor Mussolini signed a executive order saying that these rules that were put into by the CRAs, they were going to keep enforcing them. So it's not any secret that they are trying to continue to enforce these rules, but these lawsuits aren't pertaining to all of California's standards. It's just the standards that Congress put it into with the CRAs and President Donald Trump signing. There might be more actions coming, but as it is right now, it's the people out there that are saying this is going to cause California to have to follow all the federal standards. It's not true. It could be coming down the pipeline later, but at this time, it's not like in a month you're going to be able to go cut off all your emissions equipment on your vehicles, or the next time you need a smog, there isn't going to be a smog inspection. It's completely false. And I know that a lot of people out there have already been told that smogs are over in California, and they have started modifying their vehicles, and they're starting to get the, DMV renewals that say that they need smogs, and they go online, they're like, oh, I could just go around it, just pay it. And they are getting the actual notice saying, hey, you forgot to do your smog, we can't send you your tags until you get a past smog. There's a lot of misinformation going on out there. And when anything happens that's written down in ink, that's a provable fact, I will bring you guys that news. No matter what, if it's California emission standards being stopped or if it's California emission standards continue to be going. I want you guys to know the real facts of what is really going on, not just a bunch of hype and a bunch of lies being spread. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Check out the video library, like, subscribe, share. I will see you guys on the next, hopefully helpful video.